What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Basement. We are back here in the basement for just continuing down the rabbit hole that is cricket. You guys have been getting requests, asked to try other people. We've done Shane Warne. We've done the famous cricket versus baseball video where my ignorance was at a high level. A high level. If you missed it, go check it out. I've come down on that somewhat. Because now I'm getting a little bit more into the dissecting a little bit more into the cricket world, and I can see that these are just two different sports, guys. They're just two completely different sports, period. Bat and a ball is all that's similar in it. I don't know why there's so many videos on baseball versus cricket. Anyway, like a lot of my other videos with other sports that I've done, I like to go back in time and see what I looked like. When I first started doing footy videos, I called footy rugby. Oh, I got torn up for that, man. So as my footy venture went on, I've learned the sport, so I got like 80% of it down, and I went through a whole first season of footy, so it was amazing. I plan on doing the same with this. So before we get into this, subscribe, bell notice, like button, drop the comments down below. The link to this video will also be in the comments down below. Now, shout out to Indian Speedway and Mr. Singh, because I didn't want to ruin your first name. So until you tell me how to say it properly, I will be calling you Mr. Singh. But they dropped in a live stream last night and told me I had to do Virat Kohli. Had to check out Virat Kohli. I got a couple other names that people have asked me to take a look at, but this guy here, I even took some notes on this guy. This guy here seems to have been the most popular guy spoken about now. Not just those two, I've had it in comments as well under the Shane Warne videos that I've done. So we're going to get into Virat Kohli right now and why he's called the king. Now, the couple of notes I did take on him, I get serious with my stuff. My footy fans will tell you I take notes. I don't just jump in, do a reaction video. I don't know who this guy is. Who cares? Let's just keep it moving. I don't do that. I try to understand who the people are and why they're so big in the game. I love my sports, as you can tell. Knicks, Collingwood, Brisbane, hockey, famous hockey goalies in the background there, baseball. I mean, I'm into this stuff, so I kind of like to know what's going on, even if I don't fully know what's going on. So when I hear this name, Virat Kohli, and I kind of looked him up, a couple of things on him I found. He's considered one of the greatest batsmen of all time. He's considered the GOAT of his era. The greatest player right now playing today, Virat Kohli. And that is quite an accomplishment. That's a common theme between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. People consider Jordan the GOAT of all time and LeBron the GOAT of his era. That's a huge debates in that. Not getting into that right now. It's just an example. So Virat is, from what I read, one of the great batsmen of all time, but definitely the greatest of his era right now. I found it interesting that he has the highest run scorer in T20I, which I'll assume is T20 International, and IPL. The International Cricket Council made him Male Cricketer of the Decade a couple years ago. He's the fourth highest run scorer internationally in the ICC. He's also won the Sir Garfield Sobers Award, which was Cricketer of the Year. He won that twice, in 2017 and then again in 2018. Also in 2018, he won the ICC Test Player of the Year, the ICC ODI Player of the Year, and also in 2018, this seemed to be a really big year here for Mr. Kohli. 2018, he was one of the 100 most influential people in the world named by Time Magazine. Now, guys, there is a whole string of other stuff that this man has done and accomplished. It reminds me of a Michael Jordan status. A Wayne Gretzky of hockey has like 41 records. Like this guy here, the list went on and on and on. I just highlighted a few that I saw, and I figured maybe this video will give us a little more insight into Virat Kohli. So let's go on. Let's get into this and see what this man is all about. Let's see what the hype is all about.
Virat Kohli, superstar of the game.
He averages above 50 in every single form of the game. Nobody is that good across all three forms as Virat Kohli.
When he says averages 50, I'm assuming 50 runs per game. The little bit that I've seen of cricket, just a little bit that I've seen and studied on it, like I have to watch a full game yet. And I know the Big Bash just started. Everybody's telling me Big Bash, watch it. It just started. So I'm going to watch a few review videos of those games. So I'm assuming that's 50. He averages 50 runs a game. I know that is a lot.
Virat Kohli is at the pinnacle of his form, and the last 2 years at the pinnacle of world cricket as well. And he's done everything that's needed to become arguably the best player in the world.
India's such a big country, so popular over there that he's become a bit of a global superstar. Wherever he goes, there's just people they're just around him. Outstanding player, probably the best player in the world at the moment. Well, I just remember watching him in the nets. They put that footage out pre-series and he was absolutely smacking them. It's nice.
I like the way the body moves. It has to go with the flow of how the
Footage out
the flow of the
pre-series,
direction of the ball coming in.
Absolutely smacking them.
Look at that. Great reflexes. I got a question for you. I meant to ask this the other time in the last video. What's the hardest hit ball on average? What is the hardest hit ball when it's hit dead on? Like, because you know what's funny is and I probably deserved some of the backlash when I did the cricket versus baseball thing. And people say, oh, baseball players, all they do, they wear gloves. That's not, that's not manly, or that's not this, or that's not that. When we break down both sports, it's funny because I'm not comparing right now. I'm just saying, like, how hard is the ball comes off the cricket bat? Like, the reason why, I understand why they wear a cage over their mask. They don't want to get hit in the face, and the bowler can bowl it anywhere at him or in that designated area. I know he can't bowl it anywhere, but I know he can go in that designated area. That ball can come up, hit you in the face. I get it. I get all that. Just like in baseball, the third base is known as the hot corner. Balls off the bat can come to 110 to 115 miles an hour, maybe 90 feet of space. So it's that rapid, that quick. So you don't want to have your hand taken off. So there's reasons why each sport wears the protective gear that they wear. How fast does the ball come off there? Because I find it amazing the reflexes and the action that the batsman has to pay attention to. Unlike baseball, you have to be ready for that ball coming in at any direction, bouncing, spinning this way, spinning back this way, coming at from behind you, going around. So you got to, the awareness is obviously more, where baseball, it's chest to knees. Chest to knees is the strike zone. It's that much of space. That much of space. Here, your reflexes got to be on point. Really got to be on point. It's absolutely incredible.
And I was sort of sitting there thinking, how are we going to get this bloke out? And Mum, being Mum, just said, oh, he's only another person. I said, oh, okay, Mum, thanks. That's good advice. It's going to help us get him out, isn't it?
Chris Mitchell, BBC Sport. Given everything that's happened to Australia over the recent months and post Cape Town, are you expecting to meet a different sort of side that play differently? And do you think for that reason they could be vulnerable?
I personally don't think any Australian side is vulnerable at home. Whatever happened, regardless of all the things that have gone by, the skill level is still there. We're definitely not taking anything for granted. We're not even expecting them to play in a certain manner. Our focus is purely on our team. Obviously, there are going to be times when you have to put the batsman under pressure. Not necessarily crossing the line, but just get into their heads, which you expect from any side in the world, not just Australia. But I think a bit of banter there is not harmful at all.
Virat Kohli, wow, what pressure he's under now.
That's right. That's a true champion. You come out, we're focused on what we got to do. You're basically saying what our game is, that's what we're focused on. That team's going to bring it strong. That team's going to bring it real. But you can't sleep on your opponent. You can't sleep on your opponent. It's basically what he said in part of that. And it's true. You cannot sleep on your opponent. Those are called trap games. We call them trap games in America. Let's say top team in the league is going to be playing another top team 2 games from now, but the next team they play has just lost, let's say, 15 games in a row. That team's 2-10. We don't have to worry about them. We're worried about our next opponent. That cellar dweller kind of team walks in and beats you because your focus wasn't there. That's why what he said, and that's what all champions say of sports. There is no easy game. There is no opponent that you can't bring it as much as another opponent's going to bring it. Doesn't matter what you think up here. Saying it right, doing it right, and not sleeping on your opponent. Because you know what? In the end, even the worst team, they're all professional players. They're all professional players. Just a matter of how everything's put together as a team.
Now, can just see his attitude. Look at him striding out to the crease. He's up for any challenge. The fans absolutely love him.
I used to look at Virat and think he's got like the Australian fight in him.
He won't shy away from anything, but he's going to be certainly tested against a fired-up Josh Hazlewood and Mitchell Starc.
Just from memory, he played an on-drive to get off the mark, and great players play on-drives. It's the hardest shot in the book to play. Your balance has got to be perfect to watch the ball. Punter used to do it all the time. Get off the mark with an on-drive. And I used to be batting at the other end, going, mate, you're a freak.
Oh, what a shot. That is classy stuff from Virat Kohli early on. Nicely driven.
Oh, he tried to dive for it. That was cool.
I've always felt if there's 11 people get picked out of 1.5 billion, you've got to be pretty good.
What reflexes. That was incredible. Look how fast he hit that ball.
Picked out of 1.5 billion, you've got to be pretty good.
His reaction time right here. His eyes are focused. He's deaded, locked in on the ball. He's locked in on it coming out of his hand. That's very similar to baseball. Ball comes in, pitch comes in. I know it's bold. Saying even when a pitch comes into a batter, your eyes are focused on that ball. Look at him, man. That is locked in right there. Boom. Hit it square on. Locked in.
Energy all the time.
Look at that. Look at those.
When he's
Dude, that's killer instinct right there.
Energy all the time.
Look at those eyes, man. That is focus. That's awareness, man. That dude got it, man. His eyes tell the whole story. People's eyes tell you the whole story in a lot of things in life. But in sports, any sport, you see determination and a look like that, you know you're facing a champion.
And yet Virat Kohli, when he's batting, is a different entity. He's almost lost in his own perfection.
Nicely worked away again. This is a man full of pure class.
When we had Pat Cummins or Josh Hazlewood or Mitchell Starc bowling fast and swinging the ball, he just made it look like it wasn't what it was.
They'll go all the way down to the rope, and that's 50 to Virat Kohli.
At times, as hard as it is when he's belting you around the park, you really do just have to sit back and sometimes think that's just amazing.
He's done it! Virat Kohli, his 25th Test match century.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys. What is a century? I saw attached to his name. He's completed a lot of centuries. What is that? What is a century? Let me know, please, because he was written up on his biography. A lot of things mentioned about centuries. Please let me know what that is.
Oh, shot. When he goes out to bat, chasing, he just knows what that target is. He finishes games. He doesn't like to leave them for somebody else.
That's the champions. They want to finish it. Champions want to finish the game themselves. They don't want to pass it off.
He's going to do it again. He is going to do it again. We're going to lose another one because of Kohli. I've never seen that.
It's like Tom Brady bringing back a team when they're down and there's a couple minutes left in the game, no timeouts, 98 yards away. I'm a New York Jets fan praising a New England Patriot great, but he's the greatest of all time. That's like giving him the ball at the end of the game. You know he's going to get it done. Michael Jordan, you know he's going to get it done. Wayne Gretzky going to get it done. Mariano Rivera comes in on the mound. The other team already knows the game is over. Right there, Mariano Rivera, greatest closer of all time. I say this in every one of these videos. If you haven't seen him pitch, look at Mariano Rivera, greatest of all time stuff. You can type it in any way you want on YouTube. Watch his cutter. Man, it is amazing. The other team already knew it was over, just like they're saying here. Virat, you knew it was over when he's coming up.
Batting like it. Breaks your heart.
Oh, that's been absolutely crashed. What a shot!
They're going to steal an unwinnable game. We're going to lose another one.
That is incredible.
That's amazing, man. This man right here, again, the eyes. Eyes in sports tells the whole story about a player. Determination. Mike Singletary, middle linebacker for the famed 85 Chicago Bears, 1985. Greatest defense of all time. Greatest defense of all time. In the playoffs and the Super Bowl, that's 3 games. Gave up 1 touchdown. 1! And that was in garbage time That was in garbage time, meaning the very end of the game when nothing really mattered anymore. The championship was already over. It's just a matter of the time winding down. The only time they gave up a touchdown. They shut out both teams on their way in. Anyway, I'm going off on an 85 Bears thing. But Mike Singletary, look him up. He had eyes just like that. Ready to go in. The minute that play is ready to go, boom. Those are champions, man. Those are big-time champions. Focused. Nothing's going to make them not locked in. This was awesome. I like looking up the greatest. This is how I started with footy. I looked up some of the greatest players of the game, Buddy Franklin and Dustin Martin and Lee Matthews and his guys from the past that have been looked up. Eddie Betts. This is how I started in. Then I started getting into the games, started watching a lot of replays of games, and so on and so on. So now I've done Shane Warne. I've done Virat Kohli. I'm going to do a couple more pieces on Virat Kohli because I'm sure there's plenty more. Other people have given me names such as Sir David Bradman, Glenn Maxwell, and A.B. de Villiers. These are other names that people are dropping in comments. Please keep giving them me. Keep giving me situations, games, or things along lines of famous names. This was awesome, guys. So thanks again to Indian Speedway and Mr. Singh, who was in my live. If you guys ever see me live doing my own sports, I do live chats during the games that are usually New York Knicks right now, or the New York Rangers hockey. I'm usually on. Just drop in. Those two guys did, and that's why we did Virat Kohli today. So thank you, Mr. Singh and Indian Speedway, for dropping this in here, and everybody else for dropping your comments, which you can do down below. Subscribe, bell notice, like button. Look for the link in the video down below. I'm Johnny Basement, and I am out.